All right, now that we have our website completely designed, it's time to slice it up and separate it into all of the different elements we will use to construct the site itself over in GoLive. So, Rob, why is this an important step?
Well, the reason it's an important step, you don't want all these, you don't want to export this as one giant file and have that as your web page. Mm-hmm. Although that would be pretty convenient, it would be really hard to update.
Right, if you had to change even one little part, you'd have to re-upload the whole site.
Right, you'd have to go back into Photoshop every single time, and especially in news items, things that are going to change often, you want those to be text-based,
right?
And
what a headache!
Not image-based, right? So,
so how are we going to do this?
Well, Photoshop has a built-in slice tool right here in the tool palette, and it has two options. It has a slice tool, then it has the slice select tool.
Okay, and what does the slice tool do exactly?
The slice tool helps you do just that. It slices your image into individual parts and pieces.
Okay.
And as I've just done right here, I created one slice right here, and let me create another one. All you have to do is draw a box.
Now that first slice you made, that was really well snapped. Was there a guide there or something?
There was. Our guide's hidden.
Oh, okay.
And that's why it snapped.
Gotcha.
But it will snap to the ends. You don't have to worry about dragging it too far out of bounds or anything.
All right.
It will snap to previous slices too.
So we're basically telling Photoshop we want this header area to be one element. We want the little gold bar underneath to be a separate element.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
In fact, let's go ahead and name them. Let's use the slice select tool and then double click.
So it already recognizes it as a sliced element.
Right.
Cool.
And so right now I'm going to call it, this is going to be the header background.
Okay.
And we'll go and do the buttons later.
Sure.
And then I'm going to name this guy here. He'll be I'm just going to call him gold bar because I'm going to use him in the header and the footer.
Okay. So will you need
this is the same bar.
Okay, so will you need to slice out the bottom gold bar in this case?
No.
Okay.
No, we'll be able to use the same image in GoLive. And that way your web browser doesn't have to load it twice.
Very fancy.
Just load it once.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
So where to from here?
Well, let's go into a little more detail, and we're going to export these two items. So I use my slice select. I'm going to click on him, the first one, and hold down the shift key and click on the second one.
Okay. Now it's going to probably be a little hard to make out in the video, but both of those did get a little thin highlight box around them.
It's a little brown edge on
this just to kind of let you know they've been selected.
Right. And so I'm going to turn off my buttons here.
Okay.
So I'm going to navigate down to that'd be in the header folder, and just turn off the menu bar altogether. Okay. And now I'm going to go to File, Save for Web. And now you see I have my two images here. I can click on them and toggle between them.
Very nice.
And you'll notice that they have different color palettes.
Right.
That's because they're individually set.
That is too cool.
Yeah. So also you notice we have tabs up here, and we can show the original look. We can show how it looks once it's been optimized and you've chosen your colors. And you can put them side by side if you like. 4 up if you want to go crazy and try all different kinds.
Several different compression methods.
Exactly. So you can see here, there's what it looks like with 128 colors. Here's 256.
Gotcha.
And you can tell the file sizes have changed a lot too.
Oh,
the original was 1.8 megabytes, and once it's compressed, it goes all the way down to 84K, 81K. So you definitely want to try to keep it under 100K for an image about this size.
Okay.
I'm going to go back to the Optimize tab.
Now, how are you going to know the file sizes that you should be working with?
You pretty much have to do it visually and just sort of guess.
Okay.
It all depends on how large of an image an area is and how much detail is in the image.
How much color.
That's totally going to determine how much you can compress it.
Okay.
So I'm going to make this a JPEG because large images, such as this one, compress better under JPEG.
Okay.
You can see, where does it say? Down here, it's a JPEG will give us a 27K file size.
Yeah, that's a lot smaller.
And you can also change the amount of quality. The less quality, the more you're willing to sacrifice, the smaller the file will get. So you can knock it all the way down to 11K if you wanted to.
Wow.
But you can see it gets really blurry and kind of blocky.
Sure.
And that's not good.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No. So I'm going to slide it back up to something more acceptable. and just sort of experiment.
So it's kind of like a balancing act between
Exactly.
speed and quality.
That's right. The smaller the file will be, the smaller a file you can make it, the easier it is on the web server and the person who's downloading it.
Sure.
That they don't have to wait as long. So I'm going to choose something around 40, I think. That seems to be a pretty good compromise here.
Yeah.
And that gives us a 26K file.
Okay.
Okay, so now I can choose the other slice, our gold bar, and I'm going to leave him as a JPEG because when you have...
Leave him as a JPEG?
I'm sorry, as a GIF file.
Okay.
Good catch.
That's okay. We all have our moments.
This will make it around 6K.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good for what
that's
what
pretty
we're looking
small.
for. We don't need transparency, and we don't need diffusion. Diffusion and dithering cause the image basically where there aren't the exact colors. Say if I reduce this down to 8 colors, and if I zoomed in here, you can see how it's starting to get all blocky in here.
Blocky and nasty.
Yeah, dithering will do that. If you turn, say, no dither, it straightens out quite a bit.
But that can lead to banding too.
Right. So you want to get as many colors as you need without too much of a file size.
So okay.
It's a compromise.
Yeah, same thing we had before.
Right. So
the less detail, the faster it's going to be.
Right. So I'm going to select these two guys. Again, hit save.
All right. And we've set up a special folder called Web Images, and we probably recommend you guys do the same, someplace where you can get to these.
You bet.
And you're ready to save.
Right. And so you can leave this alone because we're saving more than one. It doesn't matter what you put here in the file name.
So it'll actually use the names that we created in the slice tool.
It will use the names that we gave it earlier.
Very nice.
Save as file type, images only. If you wanted Photoshop to, you could actually tell it to make a complete HTML page and lay it out and place the images for you.
Wow.
In this case, we're not going to do that because we're going to be intermixing text with images, and so that's more than we want it to do.
Okay, so we want more control.
Right. We want the images only.
All right.
If you in our settings, we're going to leave it as default settings. Under slices, we're not going to choose all slices. We're going to choose user selected slices.
Okay.
Well,
all user slices or selected slices?
Right. No, I'm going to choose selected slices.
Okay, gotcha.
If you were to choose all slices, it would choose anything that is a slice or could be a slice.
Okay.
So it would even include this 03, even though we haven't.
Right. We didn't actually make that a slice.
Right. It would actually include that.
Okay.
If you choose use all user slices, it'll only choose the things that
we physically selected.
Correct. Yeah, that you've created and dealt with.
Okay.
Or you can just choose selected slices. So either of these will work because we've got them both selected.
I gotcha.
I'll choose
So what we made are user slices, and what's sitting out there automatically, the number 3 there is just kind of like an automatic slice.
Right, exactly.
I see.
It's a potential slice.
I see.
Okay, so I'm going to hit save.
Mm-hmm.
And it's done. And so that part is complete. And let's go back and do our buttons.
All right.
So here's our menu bar. I'm going to use our slice tool again.
Mm-hmm. Or is that the slice tool?
Slice select. Good catch. And did I do it again?
No, you're good.
That's it right there.
That's the one.
All right. And I'm having a problem here, and the reason I'm having a problem is because I already have a slice in here. It won't let you slice within a slice. So I'm gonna move it out of the way, drag it, and make that other one smaller. I'm gonna use it as a starting point.
Okay. So you're actually reusing the slice that you had created before.
Exactly. In this case.
Now, is that going to pose any problems for us?
No, because we've already saved it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So let me zoom back in. Now I've got it pixel perfect here. I'm pretty sure. So there's our first slice, our first button. I'm gonna start on this side. If I started on this side, it would probably grab one of these corners.
Sure.
So I'm gonna start over here for the next one. I'm just gonna bump him against. Well, let me zoom in more for more precision.
So you're just putting the slices kind of right up against the next button.
Right.
I see. There you go.
All right. Here comes the next one.
Now, is there a reason you're not leaving gaps?
The only reason is I don't have to,
Okay.
because I don't need any of this area outside.
Okay.
And that's just because of the style of this button mainly. If these buttons had, say, drop shadows or something like that, then I would want to get a larger area to make sure I got every little bit of the fade. But in this case, we have a hard edge.
I gotcha.
And
Cool.
so we, and of course, the larger area you pick, the higher file size it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So let me zoom back out here, and let's go back and rename those buttons.
So we grab the Slice Select tool now and double click on each one.
And we can call this menu products.
Now, is this going to be, are we going to have two different versions of this, like one with a box around it and one without?
Right, and that's...
Do we want to reflect that in our naming convention?
Well, in this case, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because we're going to have to do this twice.
Okay.
You can't save it all out at once.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and turn the boxes off. I was just using those as a guide.
Oh, okay. I see.
See, now that they're gone, we'll have the same size image for both instances, and I'll just come back, flip it on, and then resave it.
Okay. That makes sense.
And then rename it at that point.
So the next one will be like products selected or something like that.
Right.
All right.
Right. Menu
News.
news.
Just goes fast once you get into it.
Sure. Testimonials.
I'd probably abbreviate it, but that's just me.
You could.
I'm just saying. That seems like a lot to type out. And I'm lazy.
You type it as any way that helps. Menu contact. Okay, so now we have these 5 buttons.
Okay.
I'm going to select them all. Go to our file. Save for web. And now move my little palette, my little viewing area over.
Yeah.
And then select each one. And I'm going to do these all at once because they're all basically the same content.
They should have pretty much the same settings.
And I'm going to make them all GIF images.
Okay.
Because text will be sharper almost always in a GIF file.
Okay. Is the jury still out on that, or is it actually pronounced GIF or GIF? Because now you've done both.
Did I? Okay, well, it can be. I've heard it both ways too,
right.
And so
I was hoping we could get a definitive answer, but I guess we'll just have to wait.
I've always called it, or tried to always call it GIF because it really stands for graphic interchange format or something to that effect. It starts with graphic.
Okay.
So that's why I use a hard G. So
GIF sounds too much like the peanut butter for me.
Right. So okay, I've got them all selected. I'm going to choose GIF. I'm going to make it 32 colors. My problem here is I don't see a color palette because I've got them all selected. So I'm just going to select one.
Okay.
And zoom in and see how he's looking.
All right.
He's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it looks pretty sharp, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see how he does with even fewer colors. I'm going to turn off you don't want dither on text, pretty much ever.
All right.
So no dither. Turn off transparency in this case. Let's see how he looks with 16 colors. He looks okay. And he's down to 1.1. Yeah,
1.1K. That's very small.
So the difference between 16 and 32 is 0.4K.
0.4K.
So I'm going to leave it at 32.
Okay.
Just to give it a little bit extra. So I'm going to zoom back out. And select them all.
So go ahead and leave them at 32.
Right, leave them all 32.
Mm-hmm.
Hit save.
Okay.
Is there anything else I needed to do there? No, I'm going to hit save.
I can't think of anything.
I think we're good. Now, you'll notice in here is an images folder that it created for us last time. So you put that in there. I think we can just leave it alone.
Okay.
And again, leave all these items alone. And this time, instead of saying all user slices, which would redo these two up here, we're just going to say
selected slices.
Selected.
Oh, watch out.
Oh, I didn't click right. There we go. All right. Save. Okay, done.
Very nice.
And now I just have to go back, turn those boxes back on, rename these real quick. And I'm going to call them over because they're rollovers, right?
Gotcha.
And GoLive will automatically recognize that abbreviation over.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So it's like a secret code.
Yeah, that's right.
I like secret codes.
Little shortcut.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, select them all. File.
Save for web. It's also Control-Alt-Shift-S if you really want to get hardcore with the hotkeys.
That's right.
That's a lot of keys to hit at once.
Yeah. And I'm going to go back.
You're grabbing your slice select tool again, aren't you?
That's
is that
right.
What that is on the left
right.
side?
When you're in this mode, you only get this slice. You can't make new slices.
Okay. Cool.
So let me zoom in once more and see how it's looking. It's looking pretty good. Really, there's no additional colors because it's white, white border. So I can back out of this, select my slices, hit save. Selected slices, make sure that's the one you want. Hit save, and that's done.
Wow.
And so, I think this is a good place to stop. We've completed. Right. We've done our header. We've got our buttons and our menu rollovers.
All right.
And we have the piece done for the footer as well.
Okay, excellent. So that wraps up slicing up our header and our footer. In our next video, I imagine we're going to take on slicing up the home page here.
That's right. We're going to do the whole thing.
All right. Well, let's have a look at that.